You all got so quiet so quick. How's it going, everybody? Yeah. Doing well out there?
Yeah.
We got waitress service tonight. We're moving up in the world. Look at that. Charlie's bringing out a tray of shots. Wow. Man, it's an actual beautiful night for this for the first time ever. I'm not sweating a million buckets of whatever up here because it's been, pretty hot the last few times. It's nice and comfortable. I want to thank you guys and welcome you. If you're wondering what the hell's going on here, especially if you're out in that park over there and you're like, what the hell's going on over there? This is a mass wedding. I'm going to get ready to marry everybody here in a minute. I am a licensed minister. I will marry anybody to anything just for the nicest bottle of scotch you can find. That's my fee. It always has been and always will be. So I like a nice, heavy East life. So get me going. But no, everybody out there, if you are watching out there in the streaming world, this is Punchlines from the Porch number 5. We got our show here tonight. It's going to be a great show. We have a great lineup of comedians. We have got, I'm going to be your host for the night. My name is Dr. Devo. You can, it's Dustin DeVore, but everybody calls me Dr. Devo. We're going to have Zach Amon. We're going to have Josiah. We're going to have Dakota Six Killer. We're going to have Jack Allen. I think that's everybody, unless I'm forgetting somebody right now. But I believe that's who we got tonight. It's going to be an amazing show. Hope everybody enjoys it out there on the Soundstooth Network. It's on our Twitch. It's on our Facebook. It should be on our YouTube, although I haven't really figured that out because I'm old. And so, we'll try our best to get that figured out in the future. So I don't know if you guys have known this, if you've seen this, or maybe if you've heard about it. And yes, my mask is hanging by my ear. I'll take that off. But there's an election coming up pretty soon. You guys know this, right? I mean, yeah, like we've all been inundated with it. I never thought I would see an election just be handled like the Monday Night Wars from wrestling back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Like literally the headline this week was Biden triumphs over Trump in the ratings battle. And I'm like, really? That's what we're doing? We're worried about our ratings battle? And they were garbage ratings too. It was like a 1.9. It's like nothing to be excited about. It's like the shittiest rating. Like to put that in context, back in like 1998, D-Generation X on the WWE was getting like 5.7s. Like, so more people were watching crotch chops, than they were watching, a presidential town hall, whatever. But I was a little frustrated that we didn't get another yelling match between two old men, which is just, it's what we're kind of used to here in America at this point. The thing, look, I know, I don't know y'all's proclivities out there. I don't know if you're big Trumpers or, you're riding with Biden, which apparently is, I never thought that we would be in the year 2020. There would be both like riding with Biden car parades and then Trump train car parades. Like, what's going on? Like, I will tell you though, if one thing about Republicans, their flag budget is through the roof. Like, I don't know what it is, but if you are issued a yacht, apparently you get 25 Trump 2020 flags, right? Oh boy, I don't know if you guys know this, but he started out this year. Trump did. With his campaign slogan was "Keep America Great." That was good. It was one CAG. Doesn't sound nearly as good as MAGA. MAGA rolls off the CAG sounds like British slang for like a whore or something. Like, yeah, watch out. That CAG's got some STI over there. You need to watch out for. But they quickly dropped that because of coronavirus. Because it's really hard to keep America great when none of us can go do jack shit at any time. And look. I think the thing was when Donald Trump won in 2016, I get it. He represented something different. He was like, people were like, he's drained the swamp, whatever. Okay, great. Fine. What I'm disappointed about is that he's not been nearly as fun as he could have been. Like, he actually started doing horrible shit as opposed to just doing like all the fun stuff. Like, I thoroughly anticipated, like recently when RBG died, that Vince McMahon would be the next Supreme Court. Just like doing a strut walk, going down there and doing it all. That's the hard part. It's like I expected him to be just super over the top fun, not just a horrible, horrible, evil human being. But I guess that's the people he surrounded himself with. And look, never trust a man that can't sell a Stone Cold Stunner. Like that's like the easiest thing in the world to do. Like you gotta enjoy, you gotta enjoy that moment. And he just couldn't do it. It's just not as good as entertaining. I don't know if there's going to be any other future WWE Hall of Famers that will become president of the United States. It's probably a little bit too late for Pete Rose. I think he kind of lives in his sarcophagus in a Las Vegas hotel signing autographs. I mean, if Drew Carey became president, be great for me. I would get a lot of impersonator gigs. Seriously, guys, you can go on Cameo right now and like for $200, there's like there's like a Donald Trump puppet. Like just a guy doing a horrible Donald Trump with a puppet for $200 a video, and he's got like 416 purchases. And I'm like, I'm in the wrong fucking business, man. Like this is what I should be doing. Now, this is a very, very important year for educators, especially to get out and vote. And it's not because we're going to unseat, look, if you live in this area, maybe you got some chance to go blue or whatever. But it's not because we're going to put any pro-educator congressman into office. Certainly not in Oklahoma, right? No, it's important because it's the first year ever that when you go vote, you get to keep the pin, right? Because you can't give it back, which marks the first time that the state of Oklahoma has ever given teachers any supplies for their classroom. So literally go out and get your fucking vote on, take that pin, and it's a shitty pin too. You know what it's like the one from Office Depot. It's not even a Bic or a Papermate. It's like it's just the worst, It's the ones that they don't even put the holes in the cap. So if you swallow that, that lid, you're going to fucking die. That's how shitty of a pin it is. But yeah, I don't know. I do teach in the great state of Oklahoma, which means that's why I drive that shitty Dodge truck right there and nothing newer. It's the most I can afford is 286,000 miles on a 2001 Dodge Dakota. Yeah. It runs without the key in it. That's how great it is. Yeah. It's amazing. If you need to clip your nails while you're driving and you got your nail clipper on your thing, that's just I read the paper, clip the nails. It's all good. But no, I am a teacher in Oklahoma. I am slightly better paid than other teachers because, as I alluded to before, I do have my doctorate. And I don't know if you guys know this, but there's very few professions where you can just absolutely know how much someone makes by going to a website and just looking them up. I don't know what you guys do for a living. I know Zach is a bank teller. I don't know how much he makes for a living, right? But you can literally go look me up and immediately assign worth to me. He's been teaching 5 years. He's got this level of education. Oh my God, that's a sad amount of money. Shit. I don't know. It makes it hard to fool people on dating profiles too. No, you said teacher. You're just poor. That's what it is. It's really tough. But people have asked me before, why don't you leave the state of Oklahoma? You could make so much more money. One of our good friends, he recently moved to Boston. I found out that if I had moved to Boston with my level of teaching expertise, and I am a fucking expert, so no one listens to me in 2020. But yeah, with my level of expertise, I could be making $107,000 a year in Boston. And what's the thing that people always say though? Cost of living. It can't cost double to live there. It just, no way it can. And anytime someone tells you, hey, but the cost of living, they're just sort of saying, yeah, you're a poor motherfucker. We don't think your earning ceiling is very high. This is just where you're going to be at for a long time. So enjoy where you're at. It's not it's not as fun. We have a teacher running for office here over in the next state Senate district, right over next to this. Not here. We unfortunately have Dave Rader, who is apparently people like to vote in shitty football coaches too. Tommy Tuberville down there in Georgia or wherever, I think Georgia or wherever he's at and stuff like that. But no, people send out flyers. This is a pre-K teacher, and they sent out flyers saying that she was a top operative of Antifa. A pre-K teacher, I've met this woman. She's a lovely woman. First of all, there's no organized Antifa out there. Let's just get that out of the way. The other thing is, yeah, good. I thought we were fucking Americans. We were really good at killing fascists. That's one of the things. It's the best thing we did for a good 10 years for there. We're great. I don't know what happened. So look, I don't get. We've all seen the jokes and the memes. Why do all these people keep flying flags of countries we defeated? And it's just true. We beat the Confederate States of America. We beat Nazi Germany. Get over it, losers. I don't still have my yard sign out for Hillary. It's been 4 years. I left it out for 6 months, mourning a little bit, but hey, it's all good. Oh, it finally happened. Happens every school year. I got called dad. I get called dad a lot these days. I don't know why. So I've started to make a concerted effort to dress essentially like I'm going to be in a really bad Run DMC cover band. But yeah, no, I get called dad at least once a year by students. And it used to not bother me so much because I was like, whatever. The kid probably has a shitty life at home and needs a father figure. It's fine, whatever. They never call me what I actually am, which is Dr. Devo. They call me coach a lot because I guess I look like a linebackers coach. Or offensive line. Sorry, I didn't mean to make myself sound athletic. I got the wrong one there. But yeah, they called me dad, and they finally dawned on me. It was like, oh shit, I am old enough to be these kids' dads. I mean, it's Oklahoma. I was old enough to be these kids' dads like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 13 years ago. Bro, I don't know. Like I'm 40, so anywhere between like the age of 15 to now, I could be those kids' dads. But yeah, I don't know. And here's what I'll get out before we bring up our first comedian here. I want to talk about this just for a second. We've all joked about how we think our phones are listening to us, right? Like you're talking about like, I don't know. I'm 40. I give off a weird swinger vibe, and so hot tubs come up a lot on my Facebook. Like upside down pineapple shirts and things like that. But recently, the two I've gotten the most. One of them makes sense to me, and it's to franchise a Captain D's, and for several reasons. Over the summer when we were locked down, I went a little stir crazy, and I adopted like 3 online streaming personas where I would just stream music. And one of them was Captain Devo, where I would like put on a captain's hat and stream yacht rock because I fucking love yacht rock, right? I mean, again, swinger life, right? Got no one to swing with, but swinger life. I belong on a pontoon on a lake is all I'm saying. But the Captain D's one, it makes sense, like I wear the captain's hat, I listen to the yacht rock. My name starts with a D. I clearly enjoy fried foods. So like all of this makes sense. The other one that is troublesome to me, that if Facebook is really reading my thoughts and my conversations, is were you molested as a Boy Scout? I literally get this one all the time. And I'm just like, I don't think so. And then it gets really even more fucked up when I'm like, wait, my scoutmaster was my dad. Shit. What are these repressed memories that I got? Oh boy, Facebook, you're really getting deep in there. Oh, well, yeah, I don't know. I was reminded of that the other day when I was driving around in my shitty old Dodge, listening to Casey Kasem reruns from the 1980s. That commercial came on. I was like, fuck, it's haunting me everywhere. Just like the ghost of all those dead Boy Scouts that couldn't keep their mouths shut. All right, guys. We have a great lineup for you guys here tonight. First up, we have a gentleman who I've had recently the pleasure of meeting over the last few months. He materialized. I don't know, maybe it's because of COVID or whatever, but I saw him out at an open mic. We do have lots of open mics in town right now. Tuesday nights at Red's downtown. We got Wednesday night at the Hunt Club, Thursday nights at Crow Creek. But I met this gentleman at one of the open mics, and he's been fucking amazing around town. So please get up for Josiah, everybody. Woo!
Thank you. How y'all doing tonight? Good? Yeah. Good. I'm going to take this thing out here. Yeah, my name's Josiah. Just materialize. That made me sound way cooler than I was like, wow, materialize. I feel like, I don't know, there's not even any black superheroes that just materialize. I was thinking of like Black Panther, something like that, but he didn't just materialize, did he? He just put on a suit and then he could run. And this is going nowhere fast, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of it. Devo did bring up the fact that the election is coming up. And I've got a new way to pick the president. I don't think we should vote this year. I think we should just go ahead at the next debate and just let them both scream as loud as they can. And then whoever dies first loses. I think it's going to be Biden. I'm pretty sure it's going to be him, but it depends on if he's on his drugs or not. So we'll see. He's got some good shit. I'm black, and I am glad to live in America because it's our best option. Like some black people think that we should go back to Africa. No. The only way I'm trying to go back to Africa is if we're going to Wakanda. But if Sudan's the destination, they can miss me with that. I'm gonna stick it out here with the iPhones and Netflix. It's crazy over there. I don't know. America's not great for blacks, but it has gotten better. Like we used to have to ride the back of the bus. Now we get to drive them shits. I know that's not a great example. Like MLK's dream wasn't just to see us move up a few rows. But I'm sure he liked it. You know, it just wasn't a priority. He wasn't looking at his civil rights agenda. Like, first things first, bus positioning. It's going to move my people up one seat at a time. Things have gotten better for black people in America, and they'll continue to get better. We had a half-black president. Maybe next time we'll get a purebred. Wasn't it weird how we claimed 100% of Obama? Like the whites didn't have joint custody? I'm like, did no one check his pedigree? He's clearly a Dalmatian. That's how bad the black community wanted a black president. We got a hybrid, and we were like, good enough. We were hoping for a Black Panther, but we'll take a spotted leopard. I don't know. What else about that? Oh, yeah, Obama. He set the bar way too high for black men, like way too high. Before Obama got elected, if we just woke up outside of a jail cell, we were successful. Now we're expected to wear suits, and that's why he's selfish. He's fucking selfish. What else do I think about that? I don't know. Nothing on that, I guess. Anybody got a job? Yeah, we all do. I just took a new job at Apple, working in customer service, and I'm still not sure if I'm a part of the company, because working in customer service for Apple is like being a janitor for the Patriots. Yeah, they pay us, but we don't help them win. Calls from old people is really taking a toll on my soul. It's really taking a toll on my soul because they don't know how to do anything. So it takes so much emotional energy to the point that I feel like we should just have an in-house therapist. She'd be like, what's the matter? Divorce, childhood trauma? And I'm like, no, something way worse. Senior citizens. Can I have some medication, please? I don't know. Old people just shouldn't be allowed to have technology, like not even a handheld calculator, because they always end up doing more harm than good. They give away their social security and credit card. I wish Apple was not recording our calls because I'd be running up numbers. Be getting my hourly plus a geriatric tip. Just think and grow rich straight from my cubicle. It'd be great. I don't know. What else about that? I don't know. There's something else that was really bugging me about it. I don't know if I can find it. Yeah, no. That's all I really got. Oh, I'm gonna go home tonight and my stepdad's gonna say, how'd your set go? And I'm gonna say, really well. No, there was something else about just old people calls that was really bugging me, but I cannot think of what it was right now. It's crazy because like usually whenever this kind of stuff happens, they call it stage fright, but I don't even think that's it. Like I'm literally just like, I don't know if I'm just tired or old. I'm 27. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Oh, you know what really bugs me about calls from old people is the fact that like it's not their fault. It's usually their kids and their grandkids because they buy them these pocket supercomputers and then just like leave them there with no training. And I'm like, bro, your grandma was born in 1941. Computers weren't even out until 1945. And you're going to give her a phone that speaks better English than her and think she's going to understand. It's like, great. I'm sure she's going to be a natural. And they don't even live close so they can help out. They're like 6 states away. So it's just me and grandma trying to figure out her password for 3 hours. Helping a grandparent trying to find their written password is like going on an Easter egg hunt, except the hider can use the entire world. And I know what you're thinking. It's like, well, why don't you just reset the password? And that's even worse. Like, it's way worse because then they've got to get verification codes. Then they've got to go to other accounts. I'm like, we might as well just solve the Da Vinci Code while we're at it. This is terrible. I don't know. Working in customer service is weird because you can, thank you. Working in customer service is weird because you can feel like all the poor decisions you've made in your life that have led to you working in customer service. So sometimes I'll just be sitting there in my seat like, I should have graduated college. I guess that's only for people who've ever had a shitty job. Customer service. Oh man, it's been interesting though. My manager, she keeps trying to promote me, and I'm trying to dodge it because I want to do stand up, and I can't say that line without laughing. It's just no, but she really does. She's trying to promote me, and I don't want to do it because I want to do stand up, and it's weird because it's the first time in my life that I've ever actively tried to stay poor. So she's like, Josiah, I really want to help you pay your bills on time. And I'm like, honestly, I like getting the mail. Makes me feel like I have a pen pal. They ask me how my week's going. It's great. They were going really fast in a residential neighborhood. You're definitely going to see some signs soon, like, drive like your kid lives here. Fucking love. You know what's crazy about that is when I first moved to Colorado, this is how polite and kind Colorado is. When I moved to Colorado, in my neighborhood was a stop sign that said, please stop, thank you.
Thank you.
And I came from the East Coast, so like I'd lived all of, even in New York. And their stop sign said, fuck you, stop. So just a weird transition. Yeah, no. I don't know. What else did I have to say about the job? Anything fun? Oh, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's weird. The manager thing. This is all new if you couldn't tell. Well, this part is. I didn't even have to scratch my head there. It was just a nervous tick of seeing people seeing me fail in real time. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we all have those weird things that we do whenever it's like, uh-oh, this one's going downhill quick, scratch an ear, do something to divert eye contact. Don't. I don't know. The other night, is Lyft big out here? Like, do you all Lyft a lot? I don't think that's it is. Yeah, I used to, you said it is? Okay. Yeah, I used to drive Lyft when I lived in LA, and it was weird because I always had to pick up a lot of gang members, and not like a few, like how people say a lot. It's like not a few, like enough to be considered a getaway driver. I'm like, all right, bro, I done picked up 6 gang members in 1 week. I deserve a bandana at this point. I'm not gonna keep putting in this footwork and be denied my membership. And the craziest thing is that like Lyft would have you out in the middle of the hood picking up random people at like 2 a.m. and not even offer you a bonus. I'm like, bro, I'm out here putting my life on the line. That's not worth an extra $2. I feel like high risk, high reward. You've never heard of that before? Like, what's happening here? You had to have heard of it. You know what I mean? You started a company. That's the reason you started it. No one starts a company to get poorer. A lot of entrepreneurs in the crowd. I can feel it. Hey, that's my time, y'all. Thank you.
Oh, keep it going for Josiah, everybody. Oh, Josiah, apparently you have never started a podcast company. That's exactly how you lose money. Just hand over fist. Doing business with comedians. It's a great decision on my part. Oh, you talked about the elderly and technology. This is 2020 in education. Think about back to all your high school teachers, and now just imagine where you have to tell them all. You now have to do all of this online using technology constantly. These are the same people that could, we still have people still using VCRs when this year began. And it's just like, holy shit. And that trickle down, and bless you for being in support, because the trickle down is always, well, have you tried turning? It's like, yes, I'm not that guy. I know how to fucking do this shit. Can you install, all this on my thing? It'll be great. But yeah, it's been real fun. It's been real fun dealing with all of that all year. We've had these nice shows on the porch. They've been good. And this next guy that we have coming up, he's been coming out recently doing some stuff. We're going to have him on the show here tonight. And he's been around Tulsa for quite a while doing stand-up and having a good time with it. Please get up for Dakota Six Killer, everybody. Woo! Woo! I'm a liberty. How you doing?
Great.
Yeah. At least Josiah doesn't know most of you. I guess that works. If anything, this is just disappointing for both of us. You could have done something better. Me, if you already know me, then you know why I'm here. So there we go. Talk about my family real quick. Come from a pretty decent sized family, 6 including myself and counting, because my dad just doesn't know how to pull out of here. So start with the people I do know. My oldest brother David, he's my half brother. He's Jewish and Native, so I'm just glad he's alive most of the time I see him. They really try to kill you, man. Thank God. I mean, wait, can I say that? My next brother is Tyler. He's also a half, but he is super white with my last name. It's like seeing all natural at like Raising Cane's. It's like, does it really matter? I don't feel like any of this is healthy for me anyways. I want my Caniac combo. They only came around sporadically, But one I did grow up with a lot was my older sister, which was nice sometimes, but she was a bit of a tomboy. By a bit, I mean a lot. She had to act as my older brother and my older sister at the same time. So she beat my ass and then asked me why I was crying. Then consoled me about it. Great. You know why. You got a mean right hook. Got to give it to you. For the longest time, she was in the closet. And I used to get in trouble because I always called it out. It's like, she's lesbian. I mean, what's so wrong with that? Like, I know she's a lesbian. Every time we play house, she literally always was the dad. You think me being the only boy around a bunch of girls, hey, maybe he should play dad. Nope. I got a dick. Dad got a dick. Surely dad, I could be dad. Nope. I think what threw me off the most about it, though, was that after we break the family huddle or whatever, she'd be like, all right, kids, go outside. I'm going to take your mom in the back and eat her pussy real quick. So I think there's something there. There goes my sister, and then goes me. And then below me is my little brother. He's epileptic. And what I used to do is just fuck with him and just flick the lights on and off. Hey, he choked me out one time. He deserved it, all right? Don't be mad at me because you can't handle flashing lights. That's genetic. That's both of our problems. I could easily pass that down. My little sister has autism, and she's my favorite because people with autism really just tell you the truth. Like, when I got out of college, I was 235 pounds, and she was the only person in my family that had the nerves to tell me I had man titties. Like, put those things away or I'm going to give you one of my bras. Like, damn. All right. I ended up losing 50 pounds because of her, so ooh. Take that, anti-vax. Both of my parents had kids at a very young age. My mom was 14 when she had my sister. My dad was 19 when he had his first kid. Or that's what he says he was. So hard to listen to your parents when they're both like, had kids at such an early age. They talk about responsibility, but none of them could, keep it shut for more than 5 minutes.
It's like, how you gonna tell me to clean my room, Mom, when you can't even, clean out your uterus? I'm a product of that thing, and I don't like it. I'm leaving a review on Yelp, 1 star. It's nice. It's nice having my last name. Gets me into a lot of places. Probably same places you go to, casinos, Just let anybody in there. There's a lot of misconceptions in this state when you're native and about tribes and everything. I remember one time I was working at a casino and this one lady came up to me and she was buying cigarettes, which, first off, you buying cigarettes in a casino, I think you have 2 problems on your hands, not just the one. But then she complained to me about the prices. She's like, these cigarettes are so expensive. She's like, what do the tribes do with charging an arm and a leg? Like, lady, the state regulates those prices. We have nothing to do with that. Only thing we do is make sure you get in here and put that money in that machine. That's all we're doing. You pay my bills, I'm all right with that. But these cigarettes, I will not take that slam. It's far from the sacred tobacco product we used to have. I do drugs. I can tell that some of you have done drugs or are doing drugs. Good for you. Good for you. Drugs give me weird thoughts. I got really high once and thought like sour cream and ice cream are related. They're like royal family close, like they could fuck around and it not be incest. It's all good. It's in the family. I've watched The Crown. I know what I'm talking about. Also had a realization. Like, why am I here? And then I realized, like, oh, I wanted to be here. I don't know. I was going somewhere with that and I lost it as I was going along. My bad. There's some other weird things I wanted to talk about. Now I gotta look at my phone. Sorry about that. Oh, okay, there we go. You ever realize how racist certain day-to-day things are? Have you ever seen a bag of jelly beans? You realize just how racist they are? How come red has to be cherry, black has to be licorice, and white is always a mystery? I once fucking around ate a white jelly bean and I got school shooter. I was like, this is wrong here. I will not stand for this. Give me another. Pool's very racist too. Billiards, if you're one of those high class assholes. Just think about it though. It's just one white ball knocking all these colored balls around, put them in their little holes, hoping to get to the black one last. All played upon this field of green. Might as well be capitalism. You racist bastards. But I'll still play for 75 cents. You ever thought about how forgetful the person who first wrote down things was? You know how forgetful you got to be to invent writing? It's like, man, someone needs to invent a way to fucking do what we're saying, but put it on something that we can read and so that we know where shit is, because I keep forgetting my stuff. Thank you. That guy's nice. I have a car, so I drive around, I guess. It's always fun. You ever just see weird car signs on the side of the road? I once was in this neighborhood. It said, slow or stop slow children at play. And I was like, that's kind of fucked up. So who are you to pick on these kids, these slow kids you call them? How dare you? And so what? There's too many of us anyways. don't know. I recently moved in to my own apartment, which has been very eye-opening for me. Can't blame anything on anybody but myself. Who didn't do dishes? I didn't do dishes. Who didn't do laundry? I didn't do laundry. Which works out. But the downside is, like, now I don't have to worry about, being quiet when I masturbate. It's like, I ain't got to worry about nobody else walking in on me. And even if they do, it's like, it's their punishment, Just busting the door like, hey, what the? Oh, man. Look at you. You ain't even got lotion. How dare you? Here's a number if you need help. I'm going to make sure no one touches you again. I wish I could say the same for you. Hope you all having a good night. I'm at that point. Where am I at? 10. Let's keep it going. Not for your sake, just to see how long I can make it feel uncomfortable. During this entire pandemic, I got a really bad cold sore, or herpes if you're an asshole as well. I also come to the conclusion that herpes is a lot like suicidal thoughts. It's like, they're not always around, but when they come around, you want to kill yourself. There's only 2 ways to get rid of both of them: either do it or get some Carmex. They don't make a full body of Carmex, so do what you can to save yourself. Thank you.
Oh, keep it going for Dakota 6 Killer, everybody out there. It's that time of night. I'm down to drinking seltzers that I bought from Aldi because that's how life is going for me. So it's good to go. Dakota was talking about doing some drugs, and the one drug that I don't think about when he's on stage is cocaine, because I don't think he's ever experienced it, because Lord knows that man needs some. Which I realized I for the first time in 8 years, I decided to do cocaine. Decided. You don't decide to do cocaine. You just happen upon it. I decided to do it like last week. And I realized very quickly, oh, yeah, you know how Devo's on cocaine? He will tell everyone that he's on cocaine. Because otherwise they're like, why is this otherwise normally quiet guy talking to me constantly for 35 minutes? It's like, oh, boy. And, yeah. So if you ever need a good wingman, just give me some magic dust. We'll be great. We'll have a good time and go out there. But yeah, no. One of the things I've learned by being around comedians a lot, one, Josiah from earlier, 27, you're not old. like comedians think that anything over 23 is old. It's very disconcerting. But initially when they find out that I'm a doctor, they think, oh, he's the good kind of doctor that has a magical prescription pad. No. Unless you need help understanding what the papal schism is or who won the 100 Years' War, you're shit out of luck. That's all I can do for you. My poor dad could be lying there dying, and I'd be like, he's dying. It's the best I can give you. Call 911. I don't fucking know. Go for it. Oh, boy. Now, this next guy that we have coming up here tonight, he's my partner in crime. He's on the #1 podcast on the Soundstooth Network. We have a little show called Getting Greasy. It's about the Trailer Park Boys. We've been, slaying and banging and doing everything else on that show that we can. We are international superstars, we found out this week. We've got multiple fans in Sweden. We've got fans in Canada. We've got apparently a fan in China, which is weird, but whatever. It's all good. But give it up for the man that usually will be co-hosting these or whatever, and you can catch him next week on the 473 show, Zach Heyman, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to my porch. How are you doing? Good. I'm As you can see, I'm dressed up tonight. I'm looking good. This is called my Letterkenny look. This is Letterkenny Zach. If you're familiar with that show, good. If you're not, look it up. It's awesome, and you'll get the joke. And for those of you that do get the joke, let's hang out after the show. Let's have a party. We're good people. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming out. This is nice. You know, give it up for all the comics you've seen tonight so far. You know, give it up for your host Devo. You know, give it up for the ladder. You know, the ladder's great. Without the ladder, we can't see the world can't see us. It's fun. Check out the pumpkins. Charlotte provided the pumpkins. Give it up for the pumpkins. Look at this nice design. We're really like following it up here, you know? It's a good time. You guys ready for the election? Yeah? Everybody's talking about the election. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to vote for Kanye. Like, that's real. I'm going to vote for Kanye. What's going to change? What's going to change if I vote for Kanye? You know, we're still going to have a maniacal narcissist in the office who's tweeting every day. You know, that's not going to change. He's still going to go say wackadoo shit on all the television shows. That's not going to change. And we've all seen his wife suck a dick, so that's a cool first lady, in my opinion. I think that's a first lady we can get behind. Yeah, we've seen Melania naked, but she didn't take back shots from Ray J and have it go viral. I'm just saying, pick your vote carefully is all I'm saying. You know, you're voting for the first lady. No, I'm having fun. It's Halloween times. It's spooky season. You know, I love the Halloween times. You know, witch culture becomes a big thing during the Halloween times. I don't get it. I'm like, ladies, you can just wear black. Like you don't have to be a witch about it. You can just wear black. Like that's no big deal. But you know, witch culture is kind of funny because when you see like Halloween decorations that involve witches, it's always them running into houses or into poles where they fall off their brooms and slam into the ground. And it just proves that even as witches, women still can't drive. So that's just fun. I recently looked up what the definition of Pennsylvania was because I was curious, you know. So I used the Google device, and it turns out Sylvania means woods. That's kind of interesting. And Penn came from William Penn, who like helped colonize that shit back in the day. And so I was more curious, and I was like, I wonder what Transylvania means. And that just means a bunch of trees that used to be men. So that's interesting. That's an interesting thing to find out. Not sure how to word this, but my parents aren't cool with me wanting to commit suicide. Like that's just throwing that out there. They're not so much like committing suicide, but more of the act of how I want to commit suicide. They're not cool with that. I want to do an assisted suicide. I think that'd be fun. Like that'd be a good way to do it. You know, every other way seems scary, you know, but I just want Cardi B to sit on my face. Like that's how I want to go, you know, and drown me in that WAP. You know what I'm saying? That's how I want to do it. And before, you know, you're thinking, Zach, that's murder. No, because I would put it in my will, my last will and testament, that she can't get in trouble for this. I give her my full consent. We'll put it on OnlyFans behind a paywall. So that way all the money goes to my family and to my funeral and everyone's taken care of. Nobody loses in this situation. Everybody wins and we all get off. And that's the important part. You're all invited to my funeral, by the way. Hopefully Cardi will perform. I don't know. We'll find out. Like Devo said, I work in a bank. I'm a teller, and we have like a drive-through, and people will bring their dogs to the drive-through, which is a nice part of my day. And we have treats for the dogs that we like to give them. But it's always fun for me that when they pull up, I'm like, hey, does your dog want a bone? And then they're just like, did he? You mean the treat? And I'm like, no, I want to fuck your Bichon Frise, man. I'm like, that thing is cute. You ever seen those things? They are cute. Absolutely adorable. Fuck the shit out of them, I would. I'll tell you that much. I like OnlyFans. I invest a lot of money into OnlyFans. It's not fun. So ladies, if you have an OnlyFans and a free 7-day trial, I'm your guy. Hit me up. You know, until the next paycheck, I can't subscribe to you. You know, that's just how it is. But it's kind of funny, OnlyFans, because, you know, it reminds me of when I was a child. Like, we always wanted to imagine what like Mrs. Mackey looked like. You know, we were like, oh man, that'd be so cool to see Mrs. Mackey in the nude. And now like kids can just pay a $10 subscription fee and not have to wonder anymore. They're like, bro, did you see the pic your mom put up today? And he's like, bro, fuck off. I don't want to look at that. But did you see the one your mom put up today? And it's like, fuck off, dude. But check out Steve's mom. Everybody's mom has an OnlyFans. We're poor. COVID is taking its toll. I have an OnlyFans. It's just straight butthole. All butthole pics. Just butthole pics, butthole art. Just put a little paint on it, sit. Sell it for $30 a pop. You'd be surprised how much money I made last week. Wouldn't be here. Anyway. If you want any butthole art, though, let me know after the show. I'll totally give you some butthole art. I'm totally down for that. Working at a bank the other day, we had a guy come in, and he was like, hey, can I use the bathroom? And we're like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And he goes into the bathroom. Like 30 minutes goes by, and he walks out, and he's like, thank you, and he leaves. And I was like, this dude just treated us like a fucking Quick Trip. Like, he just came in, took a shit, and dipped. Like, that's so weird. And I'm the only guy who works at my bank. And so my coworkers were like, yo, can you go check the bathroom to make sure he didn't leave a bomb or something? And I was like, yeah, sure, I guess. I was like, that guy doesn't look like he'd drop a bomb off. He was white. Like, come on. And no, just kidding. White guys would absolutely drop bombs off. Anyway, we all remember OKC. Anyway. Ooh. Too soon for OKC jokes? Sorry. Anyway. What about 9/11? We go into that? No. Let's what was I talking about? The guy dropping the, yeah. So I go into the bathroom, no bomb, but he definitely blew it up. I'll say that much. Like, my goodness, that thing could wreck, fucking, I'm just glad I had eyebrows afterwards. That's all I'm saying. Shit's done. And I've never understood making the bed. I never got that. My mom, our whole lives, would always be like, make your bed, make the bed. And I never got that. I was like, why do we have to make the bed? It's not like the party's happening in our bedroom. Like, I could just shut the door. And then I found out that they were letting people fuck in our bed. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, no wonder the sheets are crusty. I was wondering about what the deal was. When's the last time you washed these? I don't know. My God, the pillow's stuck to my brother's head. I can't believe this. Such a crazy time. Super Bowl Sundays. What are you going to do? I realize you can tell a lot about a person by the type of ice that they like. It's a pretty interesting thing. I think I'm kind of ahead of the game on observing people. You got your common household ice that you get out of the fridge. That's for people that are like comfortable. They're like, I'm comfortable. This is good ice. I can deal with this. I might have a 2-liter in the fridge, or some pop in the garage. That's like kind of cold, but with a little ice, be pretty good. You got Quick Trip ice. You're like, these are some partiers. They mix that shit up, put a little liquor in that. Have a good time. There's Sonic Ice. Sonic's probably the best ice. Sonic Ice people out there? Yeah, Sonic Ice. Who knew we had that market cornered on that one? That's a good one. But people who don't get ice can fuck right off to hell, in my opinion. Like, that is a true statement. If you don't get ice, I will not stay in a room alone with you. Like, I will not. My brother, my whole life, never gets ice. I do not stay in a room alone with him. I make sure someone else is in the room at all times. If not, I go Facebook Live. I'm like, hey, I'm here with my brother. He doesn't use ice. Psychopath. Absolute nut job. Anyway, he killed a cat. No, he killed a cat. I can't read what I'm. Oh, right. I've had a lot of jobs in my life. Had a couple jobs. My first job was I was a lifeguard. I was a lifeguard for 5 years. It was fun. Good time. In 5 years, only saved 3 people, I questioned whether or not to save them. They were all so we would have like morning parties at like 10 o'clock when it was like not warm at all. And so we would let those kids struggle a bit. They go off the diving board, be like, mister, it'd be like, I'll take my time. And what was fun about being a lifeguard is that you have to learn first aid. You have to, go take a first aid course. You got to learn all this stuff. And something they teach you in the first aid class is you have to ask consent if you need to help somebody. Like if someone's in danger, you go, hey, sir, ma'am, whatever your pronoun is, I'm trained in first aid. I can assist you. Do you need help? Right? And then occasionally people would, give a yes or a no. I wanted a no. I wanted imagine the guy that's like choking, because that's what we had to do. If someone was choking, unable to speak, we would have to be like, sir, I'm certified in first aid. Do you need help? And I just want the guy to be like, choke to death and die. And I wouldn't get in trouble. Save him, I get sued. That's how this country is. If I save a man's life when he doesn't want it, I can get sued and lose a lot of money. But it is what it is. I ended up working at Walmart later on in my life. And Walmart's interesting. I don't recommend it. If you work at Walmart, quit. Like, just quit. Don't continue working for that monstrosity. It was terrifying working at Walmart. My first day at Walmart was like going to prison. Like, it was straight up like you go in wearing the same outfit as everybody else. You know, they're training you on how to like act around people. You're walking through these tiny little hallways past people who've been there for 20 plus years that are like, fresh meat. Look at those guys. I'm going to rape that one, you know? And you're like, oh shit, Walmart's insane. You know? And then they put you out in the yard and you got to work. You get belittled by people. Terrible. Quit that job. You could steal from Walmart though and not get in trouble. I mean, you can get in trouble if you, go, oh, I'm sorry, and get caught. But if you just run, they can't stop you. They taught us that. They're like, do not stop people if they're stealing. So everybody listening at home, steal. Do it. Don't not steal. Now I work at a bank. You know, it's a weird line of jobs I've gone through. It's boring though, working at a bank. Very boring. I was bored the other day. Started separating my paper clips from my big ones to small ones. And then I just started to make them into a chain. And I was like, I'm going to use this to get my way around work like fucking crazy person. And what it doesn't get you out of is a sexual harassment charge. So that's been fun. My girlfriend over here has been pissed. Working from home has been hard on both of us. Very difficult. My parents got divorced when I was young, which is a lot of people, you know, growing up, their parents got divorced. They would tell me all these stories of like the drama between their families. Like they couldn't even be in the same room. If they saw each other, it was on sight. Like this is just scary shit. And it made me wish that like my family had a little bit of that drama, like a little bit. Like we were way too civil. Like we had birthdays together and like all kinds of stuff and Christmas. And it was just always weird. Like just one time at a birthday, I wish my dad would have been like, hey, put this cake in your mouth like you did with all those cocks. You know, like I just once, like just a little bit, you know, just passive aggressive Facebook statements every once in a while, you know, like guess who had the better Christmas this year? Like, it's usually my dad, but we're not comparing. If we're gonna compare, it's my dad. But anyway, I like TikTok. Anybody TikTok fans here? TikTok's great. I like TikTok. My favorite thing on TikTok is to see the single moms with children in the background. You know, the moms are up there just doing a sexy dance, twerking, you know, doing anything, scantily clad. And meanwhile, the kids in the back like, mom's a whore. Like, I just want a juice box. Like, that's all I want. But I admire these ladies, man. I like them. They're like, hey, you know, on top of this fun, sexy, twerky lady, you know, I have a kid and a crippling TikTok addiction. And it's up to you to decide which red flag is worse. And for me, it's probably the Confederate flag bikini. I'm like, that's a bit of a red flag for me. But there's always something funny on those videos when you see them. There's always a comment that says, that's someone's daughter. I fucking hate that comment. That's such a stupid phrase. That's someone's daughter. It's like, yeah, no shit. It's like, of course. But you never see that like applied to other jobs. Like it's mostly sex work, like strippers, you know, stuff like that. You're like, that's somebody's daughter. You don't see like a woman win a Nobel Peace Prize and someone in the back like, that's somebody's daughter up there winning a Nobel Peace Prize. Like you don't see that, you know. And when it's a guy, it's like that's somebody's son. It's just when we die, you know, die in the war. It's like that's somebody's son. That was somebody's son who died in 9/11. That was somebody's son. You know, Jeffrey Dahmer was somebody's son, who was also eating somebody's son. But at least he wasn't a stripper because that's somebody's daughter. Thank you, guys. Please give it back up for your host. I have been Zach.
Oh, give it up for Zach England, everybody. The man we're using his patio, disrupting a park over there. If you were into normal, I mean, I keep waiting for the night that the LARPers are over there. We really need to coordinate to get the LARPers going during a comedy show. Be quite good. I think the only thing we're probably interrupting at this point is probably some, you know, scandalous activity in a truck bed over there somewhere. I don't know. Have you ever walked around your park over there? A lot of used condoms, Charlie. just be careful. Just be careful. Oh boy. Now, guys, we are privileged to have our headliner here tonight. A man that I haven't seen him in a while, but I know he's one of the funniest people I've ever seen in Tulsa because I saw him at the Starlight last year at Starlight Comedy Night, which if you're out there watching, hopefully the Starlight will be getting back and going up again pretty soon and they can have some comedy out at the Starlight. We love our friends at the Starlight, Lynn and Rob and all of those people really helping out Tulsa comedy for a really long time. But guys, give it up for your headliner for the night, Jack Allen, everybody.
Yeah. How is it going? This is what we're doing here. So it's nuts out there, man. We live in crazy times, man. We live in crazy times. All right, we live in crazy times. Like we live in crazy times. We live in crazy times, man. We live in crazy times. Crazy times. We live in crazy times. Crazy times, man. We live in crazy times. Crazy times. Crazy times. Those are what we live in. Right, crazy times, man. We live in crazy times. We live in crazy times. We live in crazy times. This is a ballsy bit. We live in crazy times. We live in crazy times. Crazy times. We live in crazy times, which is weird because I haven't made eye contact with a woman since 2017. Crazy times, man. We live in crazy times. Crazy times. Crazy times. We live in crazy times. Crazy times. Crazy times. We live in crazy times. Crazy times. The New York Times? What's going on there? They're always like, the stocks are high. Crazy times. We live in crazy times. Crazy times. Crazy times. We live in crazy times. 3:30 p.m. What am I supposed to be doing with my day? Crazy times. Crazy times. We live in crazy times. 3:30 a.m. Am I up too late or too early? Crazy times. Crazy times. Crazy times. Crazy times. Crazy times. Crazy. Crazy times. Crazy times. Crazy times. Times New Roman? What the fuck? We as a nation need to decide on a font. There are too many. Yeah, this is what I'm getting to here. There are maybe 30 fonts or 1 million, and every one of us is like, I'm gonna spruce up my resume, and we go to a website to buy new fonts, but they're like $25 for a font. Sans this website. Crazy times, man. Crazy times. I should probably, okay, I know we're all thinking it. I should get around. I know what I look like, okay? I know what I look like. I'll just say it. I look like what would happen if my dad's ex-wife fucked my mom's ex-husband. My parents are divorced. So, anyone here drinking tonight? Yeah? All right. More specifically, are we drinking the Coca-Cola? Is anyone here drinking the Coca-Cola? All right. Let me tell you, gentlemen, buy your lady a Coca-Cola, and tomorrow morning you'll be at IKEA. They don't have those here. I just moved back. I'm sorry. You'll be out buying a new headboard, gentlemen, because you gained so much weight from drinking all of the Coca-Cola that you broke your bed, and the economy is so bad that the only new part you can buy is a headboard. They sell great Coca-Cola at Turner Park, all right? Drink the Coca-Cola. I feel like I know my audience here. Does anyone here like smoking the can of weed-a-wanna? Yeah? Yeah, over 420, truckers. We're snorkeling all the way to Tucson. Things us potheads say when we're splinkly-dinkling the wavy tobacco. Seriously, we smoke weed. I just moved back here, as I said, and I got my medical marijuana card. It's not that medical, really. Weed is legal here if you have $100. That's all it really is. Like, my whole appointment was like, are you showing symptoms of having $100? We need to send a currency sample to the lab. Please PayPal into this cup. Do you need a magazine? But it's cool. No, there are all the dispensaries, and you go into the dispensaries, and there are all these different strains of weed you can buy, and they're all like named after desserts. Like it's like Girl Scout cookies, or gelato, or cherry pie. But let me tell you, none of these strains of weeds actually taste like dessert. They're all just weed flavor. Like, what do you mean that this dried up plant that I light on fire and inhale doesn't taste like candy? That's some bullshit. Although I do like edibles. I want to tell you guys the story of the first time I had an edible. Okay, so like I was at this party and I took an edible, and I took like a normal sized edible, and then I waited the appropriate amount of time for it to take effect. And then I got a normal amount of high. And I had a good night. That's the whole story. Yeah, so weak jokes. So we got any fans of Starbucks? You know, it's fall, and Starbucks is always advertising PSL this and PSL that. Like, no, Starbucks, I don't want to learn pumpkin as a second language. I used to work at Starbucks, and one day there was this new employee there, and I thought that I knew him from somewhere. And I was like, where do I know you from? And he was like, where do I know you from? And then we remembered, oh, we know each other from engineering camp. We went to engineering camp together when we were like 13. And now we work at Starbucks. Which means that both of our lives have gone too beyond shit. And we've both been disowned by our parents. So that's when we decided to become each other's dads. And he was like, I'll play catch with you, sport. And I was like, and I'll give you the talk, son. It's time you learned about the bees and the more bees. That was not your mom that I fucked. That was an active beehive. Whoopsie daisy. So I got a Facebook advertisement recently for Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C., and I noticed that Ford's Theater's profile picture was Abraham Lincoln. I don't think that's good advertising. Abraham Lincoln, arguably the person to have the worst theater-going experience in the history of Ford's Theater. That would be like if United Airlines changed their profile picture to that doctor that got the shit kicked out of him. This looks like a crowd that watched the news 3 years ago. Anyone into the astrology here? The astrology? The stars thing? I know a lot of people think that astrology is fake. Like, oh, no, you can't tell anything about your life by where the planets were when you were born. It's all fake. But I think that astrology, it's just going to get a lot worse. I think in a few years, we're all just going to be identifying with like corporate brands. It'll be like, in a few years, they'll be like, oh, I'm an April, which makes me a Walmart. What are you? I'm a Costco rising sign and a Microsoft moon sign. Did you know that if you were born under the Exxon sun, you get 5% cash back at select gas stations? It'll ruin your dating life too. Like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't date. And you're a Taco Bell. We're just not compatible, unless of course the companies merge. People are gonna use it to excuse like their shitty behavior too. Like, I'm sorry, I'm being such an asshole this week. Toyota-thon is in retrograde. I should probably admit it to you guys. I'm a lonely guy, all right? I'm a lonely guy. But you know the saying, always the bridesmaid, never the butler's husband. Which is sad because like there are all of these sexy butlers out here. Have you seen them? That's man, I'd like them to deliver themselves to me on those trays they carry, the butlers. That's why I hate rich people. It's not because they have all the money. It's just because they have all the cool top butlers with their little bow ties. So that's that stuff, you know. If we, I want to tell you like an old fashioned joke, you know, like a joke. How about that? Do you want that?
Sure.
Okay. So this is an old timey joke. So a husband goes to a drugstore and he buys 3 items. He buys a bottle of cough syrup, a bag of dog food, and a box of condoms. And he goes up to the cashier, and the cashier is like, "Hey, man, you should know that those are glow-in-the-dark condoms." And the man says, "Well, do you think my wife will mind?" And the cashier looks at him and says, "Well, I'm sure your wife has seen it all, if she's a coughing dog." You guys weren't even paying attention to what he bought at the beginning of the joke. Yeah, we're going down that road. So we got anyone here using the dating apps? We're using the dating apps. The dating apps. They're called the dating apps because they are the appetizers in the meal of seduction. I tried to sell that slogan to Tinder, and needless to say, they swiped left. No, you know what it actually is? The appetizer in the meal of seduction? Pay attention. Appetizers. Nothing says, "I wants me some fuck," like some loaded potato skins. This fella gets it. I've been using the dating apps. I went on Tinder and I fucked a smelly person. Yeah, they were really smelling up the place. Stinky, stinky. You know, there's so many dating apps out there. There's Bumble, which I think is false advertising because it doesn't match you with actual bees. Trying to repopulate the bees here, all right? Yeah. And then there's like Hinge, and if you don't know Hinge, like its algorithm, it matches you with people you have mutual Facebook friends with, and that terrifies me because what if I'm the mutual friend, and there are just 2 people out there on a date right now? Like, oh, you also know Jack? Yeah, he's a real piece of shit. He's like a tall guy, but he doesn't have the confidence of one. What the fuck is wrong with him? I agree. Let's French kiss. French kissing, of course, is when you kiss with the tongue. Did we need that demonstration? Yes. French kissing, as opposed to Belgian kissing, which is where you kiss after you colonize the Congo. That joke does not go over well in Brussels. You know, I'm straight. Well, I'm mostly straight. I'm about 90% heterosexual. I am lean ground beef straight. Because that's the percentage on the lean ground beef packaging. Has anyone in a grocery store before? Buy it sometime. They have so many of them. Reese's, Whole Foods, Aldi, if you're a German hobo. like Aldi. Well, I'll go to Aldi after this. This is an Aldi crowd. Yeah, I'm calling you poor. What I'm trying to say here is that hamburgers are gay. It's not what you'd expect. You'd think that the gay meat would be hot dogs, but that's what you get for stereotyping, you bigots. What I'm trying to say here is that I touched a dick once. I'm glad that I did it, but it wasn't really my thing. At least that dick. But my whole reasoning going into was like, oh, I like touching my own dick. Why won't I like touching his? But then I did it, and it just felt kind of off. Yes, the best way to describe it, it's kind of like when you're driving your friend's car instead of your own. Like, this doesn't break as easily as my Honda Civic. The upholstery's kind of worn. I don't recognize these stains. So that I'm an experienced fella, if you don't know that. I guess I'll leave you with a little piece of dating advice here. Ladies, if your boyfriend has nipples, you actually have a girlfriend. Yeah, sorry. You know, that's how I feel because I'm masculine like that. I'll tell you, man, crazy times. Are psychology jokes any good? I'm a Freud not penis. All right. Thank you so much. My name's been Jack Allen. It's still Jack Allen. Give it up for your doctor.
Guys, oh my God, thank you so much for being here tonight, Jack. We appreciate you being here. Guys, that was an absolute treat. That's something that no one's seen in Tulsa for a while. And goddamn it, Jack, you're a fucking consummate professional. The incomparable Jack Allen. Give it up for him once more. Keep it going. Also, keep it going for every other comedian that you saw here tonight. Dakota Six Killer. You had Josiah. You had Zach Amon, and everybody else. On the show tonight. Here's the super fun part of ending a show like this. As one, Jack, fuck you. I'm drinking my Aldi seltzer. Here I am. Good call. It's the only place you get like $5 buffalo meat. It's amazing. But no, we have some great shows coming up. There's going to be a really, if you like the Porch show here and the aesthetic of the Porch show, first of all, I will say this. This is the first time I've ever was like, when Jack was on stage, everyone in this fucking neighborhood could hear that, and it was great. So I hope they're having a great time. But no, on a Halloween night, we're going to do an actual Porch show here on Halloween night. That is going to be a very weird Porch show. It's going to be hosted by Baby with a Knife, which is a Quinn Blakely original. So come out and check that show out. It'll be fun. We'll be in costume. We're gonna try to do jokes in costume. We'll see how that goes. But that's on an actual Halloween night, 7:00. Come check that out. But hey, if you enjoy outdoor shows and you enjoy comedy, next Saturday at the bar 473, which is right over in the Whittier neighborhood. You can check out a great show. We have Landry Miller headlining. We have Julie Drake on that show. Zach Amon's on that show. Josiah's on that show. We have a great show for you guys out there that night. It's 100% outside. You can even order from the bar outside. The restroom is even kind of outside, not in an outhouse way, but it's outside, right? So it's a one-holer, so you don't have to worry about bumping into anybody. But yeah, come out to that show and be sure to follow everything on Soundstooth we have shows every week. Talk Show Incorporated at like 10:00 on Thursdays. Other stuff, Getting Greasy with Zach and myself and Sean Singleton. We have all sorts of great shows on that. Thank you guys for being here. We love you so much. Give yourselves a round of applause. Everybody have a great night. Be safe and make good decisions.